Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 8.
The story really kicks off right after the death of Sun Jian, who was a formidable warrior.
A major player, yeah.
He's killed in battle, and his enemy, Liu Biao, now holds Sun Jian's body. But there's a complication in the affair. Liu Biao's own general, Huang Zu, has been captured by Sun Jian's forces.
So it's a bit of a standoff, and Liu Biao gets some very clear, very pragmatic advice from his advisor, Kuai Liang.
Right, what does he say?
Kuai Liang basically says, look, Sun Jian's dead. His sons are young, inexperienced. This is your chance. Hit Jiangdong now. Conquer it easily.
Makes strategic sense. Cold, but logical.
Exactly. He even warns Liu Biao, if you give back the body, make peace, you're just giving them breathing room, they'll recover, and the Sun family will definitely be trouble for you down the line.
And yet Liu Biao he doesn't take the advice. His reason, it's all about personal loyalty.
Yeah, he says something like, but Huang Zu is in their camp. How can I just abandon him?
Even when Kuai Liang pushes back, saying Huang Zu isn't exactly a strategic genius,
He calls him without strategy, I believe.
Liu Biao still insists, no, Huang Zu and I are like brothers, heart and soul friends. It would be wrong, unrighteous to abandon him.
Yeah. So he sends an envoy. The deal is Sun Jian's body for Huang Zu's freedom.
It's a fascinating choice, isn't it? That loyalty versus strategy dilemma.
Sun Si, Sun Jian's son, get his father's body back.
And Sun Si wasn't someone to underestimate, even then.
Not at all. He retrieves the coffin, stops the fighting, heads back to Jiangdong. After the funeral, he settles down, starts gathering talented people, treating them well, building his strength.
Dongzhu in Chang'an, he seems totally in control. And then news comes in, Sun Jian is dead, a major rival gone. And his reaction, the text says he basically went, one less problem. Literally one less heart trouble. Yeah. Then he finds out Sun Jian's son is just 17. And Dongzhu just dismisses him, like, okay, not a threat.
Right. And that initial reaction, it tells you so much about his mindset. It's pure arrogance, obviously, but it's also maybe a bit of a blind spot, overconfidence.
Yeah.
He sees the current power landscape, maybe doesn't think about future threats, especially young ones.
He just doesn't see it coming.
Exactly. A common failing, perhaps, for those who think they're untouchable.
And from there, his arrogance just ramps up. He starts calling himself Shang Fu. Now, help us understand that title. It wasn't just any title, was it?
No, absolutely not. Shang Fu was incredibly prestigious, usually reserved for, like, esteemed tutors or regents to the emperor, someone deeply respected, almost paternal.
So for him to take it.
It's a massive overreach. He's co-opting this symbol of legitimate, respected authority, and then he doubles down.
Right, the imperial regalia, using the emperor's carriages, the banners, things only the Son of Heaven should use.
Mm-hmm. That's not just breaking the rules, it's fundamentally challenging the whole system. It's like saying, the old rules, the mandate of heaven, they don't apply to me. It's a public dismantling of imperial legitimacy.
Wow, okay. And he didn't stop there. He brought his family in, big time.
Oh, yeah. Nepotism on a grand scale.
His brother, Dong Huang, gets made Left General and Marquis of Hu. His nephew, Dong Huang, different character, same name, confusingly gets put in charge of the Imperial Guards as court attendant.
Very strategic placements, control of the military, control of the palace guard.
And then this part is wild.
Yeah.
Every member of the Dong clan, even babies apparently, gets named a Marquis.
It's extraordinary. He's creating his own aristocracy overnight, locking down power, not just for himself, but for his entire lineage. It mirrors his own power grab, just scaled up for the whole family.
And speaking of scale, let's talk about Meiwu, his fortress.
Ah, Meiwu. Yes.
This thing was enormous. Built 250 lens up from Chang'an. That's what, like 70, 80 miles?
Roughly, yes. A significant distance.
And it took 250,000 workers. The text says its walls were as high and thick as Chang'an's itself. A fortress city, basically.
Precisely. And think about what was inside. Not just palaces, but warehouses filled with 20 years' worth of grain.
20 years.
Enough to withstand any siege imaginable. Plus, unimaginable wealth, gold, jade, silks. And the text mentions 800 young women. His whole family lived there, too.
So it wasn't just a palace, it was a statement.
It was a statement of ultimate power, yes, but also maybe deep paranoia. A need for absolute security, a place he could retreat to and be utterly self-sufficient, untouchable. It reflects both his stolen wealth and perhaps his fear.
He spent a lot of time there too, right? Traveling back and forth between Meiwu and Shan.
Mm-hmm. The source says maybe half a month or a full month at a time.
And every time he traveled, all the top officials had to come out and greet him, outside hangman. like a formal reception, but mandatory.
Exactly, a ritual of submission.
And sometimes he'd just set up tents right there on the road and have banquets with them.
Yeah, keeping them close, keeping them subordinate. But one of these banquets, this is where things take a truly horrific turn.
Okay, this is the part that really stands out. So they're having one of these roadside banquets, and hundreds of soldiers arrive. They'd recently surrendered from Beatty.
Right, northern soldiers.
And Dong Zhuo, right there in front of all these officials. He just orders his men to attack them, but not just kill them.
No. The description it's brutal. It says hands and feet cut off, eyes gouged out, tongues cut. Some were even boiled alive in pots.
Oh.
The sounds, it says, shook the heavens, and the officials watching, they were terrified, trembling, dropping their chopsticks, just frozen in horror.
But Dong Zhuo himself?
Completely unfazed. The text specifically notes he was eating, talking, and laughing as usual.
Laughing.
As usual. It's chilling. This wasn't just cruelty, it was theater. A public spectacle designed to terrify, to show everyone this is what happens to anyone, randomly, brutally. It destroys any sense of safety or predictability.
Total psychological warfare.
Absolutely. Pure terror as a tool of control.
And that wasn't even the only incident like this. There's another one.
Yes, another assembly. This time in the provincial office, all the officials gathered.
And Lu Bu, his adopted son, the famous warrior. He goes up and whispers something to Dong Zhuo.
Just a few words.
And Dong Zhuo just laughs and immediately tells Lu Bu, go drag Sekong Zhang Wen down from the hall. Zervan was a really high-ranking official, right? Sekong.
Very high-ranking. One of the three excellencies, essentially. Top tier.
So ordering him dragged out like that, the other officials, it says they lost color, went completely pale.
Understandably. Imagine witnessing that. The suddenness, the lack of explanation. Just a whisper, a laugh, and a death sentence for one of the highest officials in the land.
And it was fast. The text says, not long after, attendants just bring in Zhang Wen's head on a red tray.
Presented it right there. To the assembled officials, their reaction. Their souls left their bodies. I mean, can you blame them?
It's just absolute terror.
It shows that rank means nothing. Loyalty means nothing. One whisper, perceived or real, and you're dead. Publicly, horribly, everyone sees it, no one is safe.
And then Dong Zhuo tries to explain it away, almost casually.
Right. After the horror sinks in, he just reassures them. Says something like, oh, don't worry, Zhang Wen was plotting against me with Yuan Shu, sent a letter.
And he says the letter mistakenly went to Lu Bu, calls Lu Bu my son Fengxian, like it was all just a clumsy mistake by Zhang Wen.
Exactly. The explanation is almost insulting in its flimsiness. It's not meant to be believed.
So what's the point of even giving one?
It's the ultimate power move. I can kill one of the most powerful men in the empire publicly based on a whisper and offer this pathetic excuse and you will accept it. It shows his utter contempt for process, for truth, for them. It reinforces that his whim is the only law.
Survival means just nodding along.
Complete, unquestioning submission born out of sheer terror of arbitrary, brutal violence.
Well, fear in Chang'an must have been just suffocating. Everyone walking on eggshells.
Which leads us directly to Wang Yun. He's the minister over the Sitio, another top official.
He witnesses all this. Yeah. That night after Zhang Wen's head incident, he goes home just completely distraught. Can't sit still, can't rest.
He ends up pacing in his garden late at night, under the moonlight, apparently weeping.
And then he hears someone else nearby, sighing over and over again near the Peony Pavilion.
He investigates quietly and finds Diao-chan. She's a singing girl in his household.
The text tells us a bit about her, chosen young, trained in singing and dancing. She's 16, very beautiful, very skilled. And Wang Yun apparently treated her like his own daughter.
He listens for a bit, then confronts her, asks if she's, having some kind of secret affair, why she's sighing so late at night.
And Diao-chan, she kneels right away, assures him it's nothing like that.
He pushes her, then why the sighing?
And that's when she opens up. She says she's worried because she sees him, Wang Yun, so troubled lately. She knows it's about affairs of state.
And then she says something extraordinary. She pleads, if there's anything I can do, any way I can be useful, I wouldn't hesitate, even if it meant 10,000 deaths.
Wow. And Wang Yun's reaction is just as intense. He hits the ground with his staff, apparently, and cries out, who would have thought the fate of the Han Empire rests in your hands?
Incredible moment. He takes her inside to his private study, sends all the servants away, and then he kneels down and bows to her.
A high minister bowing to a young singing girl. The power dynamic shift is stunning.
Diao-chan is, understandably, completely shocked. Asks him why he'd do such a thing.
It really shows you the depth of his desperation, doesn't it? He's reached the end of his rope.
He explains, apparently with tears streaming down his face, "Pity the people, pity the emperor, we're all in terrible danger from Dong Zhuo." He says Dong Zhuo plans to usurp the throne, and none of the officials can stop him.
But then he brings up Lu Bu.
Right. He says Dong Zhuo has this adopted son, Lu Bu, incredibly brave warrior. And I've noticed, both of them, father and son, they have a weakness for women. They're lustful men.
And that's the key. That's the core of the plan.
Exactly. Wang Yan lays it out. Here's what I intend to do. It's a chain stratagem. He says, first, I'll promise you in marriage to Lu Bu.
Okay.
But then, he continues, I will actually present you as a gift to Dong Zhuo.
Playing them against each other, using her.
Precisely. Your job, he tells her, is to work from the inside. Sow discord between them. Turn father against son. Make Lu Bu so enraged, so jealous, that he kills Dong Zhuo.
It's entirely psychological manipulation, using their own desires against them.
If this works, Wang Yin says, you'll eliminate this great evil, restore the dynasty. Everything will be thanks to you. What do you say? It's an immense burden to place on her.
And her response, just immediate acceptance, no hesitation.
She says, I already told you I'd face 10,000 deaths. Just present me to them. I know what to do. I have my own way.
Wow. Even Wang Yin seems a bit taken aback, warns her again how dangerous it is. If this leaks, my whole family will all be killed.
But Diaochen is firm, rock solid. Don't worry, she tells him. If I fail to repay your kindness, your righteousness, I deserve to die by 10,000 blades.
Chilling resolve, Wang Yin bows to her again, in gratitude.
And right there, that's the moment. The chain stratagem is officially set in motion. A desperate gamble, relying entirely on the wits and courage of one young woman against the most powerful men in the empire.
Wang Yin. He's the orchestrator, driven by, well, patriotism, essentially. He wants Dong Zhuo gone.
Right, to save the Han dynasty. And this chain stratagem, using Dao Chen to create a rift between Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu, it's audacious.
It really is. I mean, how could one person, Dao Chan, be the key to toppling someone so powerful? What's the core idea here? How could Wang Yun even think this might work?
Well, that's the genius, isn't it? Wang Yin didn't just see desire or pride. He saw their specific weaknesses. Lu Bu, the great warrior, he needed recognition for his talent, above everything.
Okay.
And Dong Zhuo, the tyrant. He craved legitimacy, like divine approval for his power. Wang Yun wasn't just flattering them, he was hitting their deepest needs, their biggest insecurities. Tailored flattery.
Right. So, first move, target Lu Bu. But Wang Yin doesn't just introduce Dao Chen straight away. He softens him up first.
He does, a very classic move. He sends Lu Bu some family treasures, these incredibly bright pearls, worked into a gold crown.
A crown, okay?
And crucially, it's sent secretly. That immediately tells Lu Bu this is special. This is just for you. Makes him feel privileged.
Ah, clever. So that sets the stage. And when Lu Bu comes to say thank you, Wang Yin puts on a show.
Oh, absolutely. A total performance. Meets him right at the door, leads him to the best seat in the inner hall, and then he just, lays it on thick.
How so?
He proclaims Lu Bu is the only real hero in the world. Says he respects his talent, not just his position under Dong Zhuo. He's aiming straight for Lu Bu's vanity, that need for his skill to be seen as unique.
Got it. Ego sufficiently massaged. Then comes Diao Chan's entrance, Act 1. How's that described?
Wang Yun calls for his daughter, and she appears, the text says tu, which means like glamorously adorned, beautifully made up.
Okay.
She immediately starts serving Lu Bu wine, and the source notes this instant chemistry. Brows met eyes both ways, like sparks flying immediately.
Wow, okay, so the connection's instant. And then Wang Yin ramps up his own performance.
He does. Pretends to be drunk, gets all dramatic, says, my whole family, we rely on you, General.
Yeah. Cutting.
Laying it on thick again.
Totally. And then he makes the offer. He'll send Diao Chan to Lu Bu, as a concubine.
In Lu Bu, he's completely smitten with Diao Chan, super flattered by Wang Yun's apparent trust. He's ecstatic. Promises to repay Wang Yin like a dog or horse, basically pledging absolute loyalty.
But Wang Yin doesn't seal the deal right then. He makes Lu Bu wait. Why?
This is brilliant. Strategic delay. Wang Yin says Lu Bu can't stay the night, can't take her immediately because he's afraid Dong Zhuo might get suspicious.
Ooh, okay.
It's not just an excuse. It reinforces this idea that he and Lu Bu share this secret, this dangerous bond of trust against Dong Zhuo, makes Lu Bu feel even more special, more indebted.
And Lu Bu completely falls for it. Thanks Wang Yin again before leaving.
Hook, line, and sinker. Lu Bu, the mighty warrior, is caught, believes he's the chosen recipient of Wang Yun's daughter and trust. First domino down.
So Lu Bu's dealt with for now. What's Wang Yun's next step? He has to pivot quickly, right?
Immediately. Next target, Dongzhuo, the second hook. Wang Yun sends out this big public invitation to Dongzhuo for a banquet. But crucially, he makes sure Lu Bu isn't there.
Setting the stage differently this time.
Wait.
Public, not secret.
Exactly, and the banquet is pure spectacle. Water and land delicacies, silks and brocades covering the floor, fancy curtains, just pure, overwhelming luxury designed to impress the tyrant.
And Dongzhu shows up with his usual subtle entourage.
100 armed guards, yeah.
Eh?
Standard procedure for him. And Wang Yin just doubles down on the flattery he used on Lu Bu, but takes it even further.
How so? What does he say?
He praises Dongzhu's towering virtues, saying they surpass even ancient sages like Yi Yin and the Duke of Zhou.
Whoa, okay. For listeners who might not know who were Yi Yin and the Duke of Zhou, why is that comparison so huge?
They're legendary figures, basically the pinnacles of wise and loyal ministers or regents in Chinese history, people who helped establish dynasties, guided rulers virtuously.
Yeah.
Comparing Dongzhu, this brutal tyrant, to them is, well, it's incredibly audacious.
Almost laughable, but he's banking on Dongzhu's ego.
Totally. And then comes the real kicker. Wang Yin makes his bold astrological claim.
Ah, yes, the prophecy bit. How much do you think Dongzhu wanted to believe this stuff? What did Wang Yun actually say?
He basically says the Han Dynasty is finished, its mandate of heaven is gone, and destiny has chosen Dongzhuo to take over. He uses this very specific phrasing, like Shun receiving the throne from Yao and you succeeding Shun. It perfectly aligns with heaven's and man's will.
Referencing these mythical sage emperors passing power peacefully.
Exactly, legitimizing Dongzhuo's ambition through this divine historical precedent. And Dongzhu, he's absolutely delighted, eats it up, promises Wang Yun he'll be prime minister when it happens.
He's hooked, completely taken in by the idea of being a legitimate, heaven-approved ruler, not just a strong man.
Precisely. The flattery is perfectly tailored again, and now the stage is set for Diao Chan's second appearance.
Act 2 for Diao Chan. Wang Yun suggests some entertainment. A household songstress.
Right. And the descriptions of her dance are just stunning, like a startled swan gracefully turning in the palm, and a wisp of floating cloud arriving in the painted hall. It's incredibly evocative.
Pure poetry, designed to captivate.
Completely. And then she sings, and this is where the irony is just chef's kiss.
What's the song?
The lyrics go, "Obeyers!" Her lilac tongue spits out a steel sword to cut down treacherous and chaotic officials.
Wait, she's literally singing about killing treacherous officials right in front of the biggest treacherous official in the land.
Exactly. But Dongzhuo is so mesmerized by her beauty, by the performance, the meaning just sails right over his head, or he chooses to ignore it. Desire completely trumps the literal warning in her words.
Incredible. And that leads straight into the second fake offer.
Yep. Wang Yun again offers Diao Chan as a gift, this time to Dongzhuo.
And Dongzhuo's reaction.
Immediate acceptance. He's totally smitten, doesn't hesitate, tells Wang Yun to send her over to his palace that very night in a covered carriage.
That speed tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How impulsive he is when his desires are triggered. His power means he just takes what he wants.
Absolutely. No thought for consequences or for, say, his adopted son he supposedly favors. And Wang Yun plays the loyal servant to the hilt, personally escorting Dongzhu home.
Okay, so both men think Diao Chan is promised to them. The trap is set. Now comes the first real test, the confrontation.
Right. Lu Bu sees the carriage, sees Diao Chan being taken to Dongzhu's place. He confronts Wang Yun, furious, grabs his clothes, basically demanding, "You promised her to me. What is this?"
This is the moment it could all fall apart. How does Wang Yun handle it?
His quick thinking is just phenomenal. He spins this lie instantly, on the spot. He claims Dongzhu heard Diao Chan was already promised to Lu Bu, and that Dongzhu came and took her specifically to give her to Lu Bu, as a fatherly gesture. He even invents a quote from Dongzhu: "Today's an auspicious day. I'll take this girl back right now and pair her with Fengxi and Lu Bu."
That is masterful lying under pressure. Wow.
Truly, twisting the truth completely around to fit Lu Bu's perspective and desires.
And Lu Bu, don't tell me he buys it.
He totally buys it. His anger just vanishes. He apologizes to Wang Yun for doubting him.
Unbelievable naivety. Or maybe just wishful thinking.
Probably a bit of both. Wang Yun seals the deal by promising to send Diao Chan's dowry over later. So Lu Bu walks away relieved, thinking everything's fine. His father is just arranging the marriage properly.
When in fact Wang Yun has just driven the wedge in deeper. The first real crack appears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take long for the truth to start seeking out. Lu Bu goes back to his own place, waits for Diao Chan. Nothing happens.
No bride arrives.
No news at all. He starts getting suspicious, disappointed. Eventually, he asks some of Dong Zhu's concubines what's going on.
Yeah, and they tell him.
They spill the beans. Dong Zhu and Diao Chan spent the night together. They're still in bed. The truth hits Lu Bu hard.
Now, this is where Diao Chan really steps up, isn't she? She's not just a pawn anymore. Lu Bu spots her later.
Yeah, he's lurking around Dong Zhu's residence, miserable, and he sees her combing her hair by a window. She spots his reflection in a mirror.
What does she do?
This is brilliant acting. She immediately puts on the show of distress, frowns, pretends to wipe away tears. She knows he's watching.
She's feeding his narrative, right? Making him think she's unhappy with Dong Zhuo, maybe longing for him.
Precisely. It's pure manipulation through performance. She presents this image of suffering, and Lu Bu, already jealous and suspicious, interprets it exactly as she intends. She's suffering because of Dong Zhuo, maybe for him.
It's all about perception, how he reads the situation based on what he wants to believe.
Exactly. And she doesn't stop there. Later, when Lu Bu is actually near Dong Zhuo, Diao Chan makes another subtle move.
What happens?
She peeks out from behind a screen or curtain. The text says, Troan. She slightly reveals half her face, sending amorous glances towards Lu Bu.
Whoa, that's bold. Right under Dong Zhuo's nose, potentially.
Very bold. It's another deliberate layer of manipulation, keeping Lu Bu hooked, making him think she desires him despite her situation.
And Lu Bu's reaction.
He's completely floored. The source says his soul is floating, like he's totally dazed, lost in the moment.
But this time, someone else notices.
Yes, this is critical. Dong Zhuo sees Lu Bu's dazed expression. He sees where Lu Bu is looking, and he immediately senses something's wrong. Suspicion clicks in his mind. He curtly dismisses Lu Bu. The jealousy, the suspicion Wang Yun wanted to plant, it's starting to bloom. The chain stratagem is well and truly underway. Dong Zhuo himself, a man just utterly consumed by Diao Chan.
Yeah.
So much that he's neglecting his duties for, over a month? He even gets sick.
Right, a minor illness, but significant in the plot.
And Diao Chan pretends to care for him, stays by his side constantly, doesn't even change her clothes, apparently, and
Yeah.
this just delights him.
It does. And, that's the groundwork right there. It's strategic brilliance.
How so?
Well, Diao Chan isn't just beautiful, she's performing. This whole act of devotion, it cements her position.
Oh, okay.
And more importantly, it cements Dong Zhuo's trust in her completely. He becomes, basically blind to what she's really up to.
So she's building this intimate trust, this reliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's classic manipulation,
Yeah.
starting small, building that connection so he won't see the trap.
Okay.
She's weaving this intricate web, and he has no idea.
And then the web starts to catch its next target, Lu Bu.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, Lu Bu comes in to check on Dong Zhu, who's asleep. And Diao Chan sees her chance.
Right, perfect timing.
She's peeking from behind the bed, and she gives Lu Bu this whole silent performance. No words.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Just points to her heart, then points to Dong Zhu and starts weeping uncontrollably.
Wow.
That image, that silent plea, what does that do to a guy like Lu Bu?
Well, think about it. It's like a direct hit to his ego, his pride, his protective instincts.
Right, he's the great warrior.
He's the warrior of his age, right?
Yeah.
Fearsome, used to being in control. And here's this woman silently begging him for rescue from his own adoptive father.
Ooh.
And then Dong Zhuo wakes up, sees Lu Bu staring, turns his head, spots Diao Chan behind the bed, instant rage, just
Yeah.
like that, accuses Lu Bu of flirting, banishes him from the room, forbids him from coming back in.
So Diao Chan basically engineered this public humiliation.
Absolutely. And you've got to wonder, right? How does that start chipping away at Lu Bu's loyalty? This fierce warrior, sidelined, shamed, over a woman in front of the tyrant he serves. His position subtly feels pretty precarious.
Yeah, really precarious. But then, maybe fortunately for them, Li Ru steps in, Dong Zhu's strategist.
Ah, the pragmatist.
He hears about it from the very angry Lu Bu, rushes in, and basically tells Dong Zhuo, look, you can't alienate Lu Bu over this.
Sound advice.
He says it could wreck their ambitions for the empire. They need Lu Bu, but is this fixing the real problem or just papering over the cracks?
It's definitely just papering over the cracks. I mean, Li Bru's solution is smart for the short term.
Okay.
Says, call Lu Bu back, give him gifts, serious gifts, like 10 caddies of gold, 20 rolls of brocade, a fortune.
Wow.
And speak kindly to him, smooth it over. And Dong Zhuo actually does it.
And Lu Bu accepts.
He accepts the gifts.
Yeah.
He even apologizes. But And this is crucial. The source material explicitly says his body might be with Dongzhu, but his heart still with Dao Chan.
Ah.
So it's not just a crush, it's a wound. Pride, affection, all mixed up. That gold can't fix that. It's, like you said, a ticking time bomb.
Okay, and that bomb finds its fuse a little later. Dongzhu is better. He's back at court.
Right.
Lu Bu is there, guarding him. But he sees his chance. Dongzhu gets deep into conversation with Emperor Qian.
Distracted.
Exactly. Lu Bu slips out, grabs his halberd, gets on his horse, and rides straight to the Prime Minister's place.
Makes a beeline.
Goes to the back hall, finds Diao Chan, and she tells him, "Wait for me at the Phoenix Pavilion, in the garden."
This is it, the moment of truth.
Seems like it.
Yeah, the setting is just perfect. Diao Chan arrives, and the text describes her like an immortal from the Moon Palace. You know, emphasizing this unreal beauty, this allure.
Setting the mood.
Totally. And her speech to Lu Bu is just a masterclass in manipulation, designed to crank up his guilt, his heroism.
What does she say?
She tells him she's not really Wang Yun's daughter, just raised by him. That she had hoped to serve him, Lu Bu, but now Dongzhuo, the Grand Tutor, has, well, taken advantage of her.
Playing the victim card hard.
Oh, absolutely. Declares she's ashamed, wants to die, only held on to say goodbye to him, and then kicker, she tries to jump into the lotus pond.
Knowing he'll stop her.
Of course. He catches her. Think about the pressure that puts on a warrior like Lu Bu. The damsel in distress, literally in his arms.
It's intense. So Lu Bu is completely distraught now, embraces her, weeping, confessing he still feels for her.
Right. The raw emotion.
And Diao Chan, playing her part, says, "Oh, I can't be your wife in this life, maybe the next."
Twisting the knife.
Which pushes Lu Bu to say, basically, I'm no hero if I can't make you my wife now.
There it is. The commitment.
And Diao Chan senses victory. She pushes harder, talks about her days, like years, begs him to rescue her.
She sees him wavering, though, right? He's still scared of Dongzhuo.
Yeah, Lu Bu tries to leave. He says he's afraid Dongzhuo will come back, promises he'll figure something out later.
But she doesn't let him go.
No way. She grabs his clothes, shames him. Are you really that scared of the old villain? Then I'll just rot here.
Ouch.
She brings up his reputation like thunder. She heard his name, believed he was the greatest hero, the only one of his generation. But now he's controlled by another. Tears streaming down. It's brutal.
It's a complete psychological takedown and just brilliant in a dark way.
How so?
She uses his own identity, his core belief about himself, against him. She knows his weak spot isn't a sword thrust. It's a blow to his ego.
His image as the ultimate hero.
Exactly. By calling him a coward, controlled, she shames him into staying. He's overwhelmed, humiliated, embraces her again, comforts her. He can't leave now.
Point of no return.
Absolutely. The trap is sprung. He's caught.
And just as this emotional drama peaks, the tension snaps. Dongzhu finishes up at court. Realizes Lu Bu's missing.
Suspicion kicks in immediately.
Right. He rushes back home, sees Lu Bu's horse tied up outside. Gatekeeper confirms.
Yeah, Lu Bu went to the back hall.
Oh, the dread Dongzhu must feel.
He searches, asks a servant girl, "Where's Diao Chan?"
Oh, in the back garden, looking at flowers.
Looking at flowers, right?
Dongzhu storms into the garden, and there they are, Lu Bu, Diao Chan, together at the Phoenix Pavilion. And Lu Bu's halberd is just leaning there, casually.
That sight must have been devastating for Dongzhu. The ultimate betrayal, right there in his own garden.
What happens next?
Dongzhu just roars, pure, uncontrolled fury. Lu Bu, terrified, he bolts.
Runs for it.
Instantly, Dongzhu grabs the halberd as Lu Bu's own weapon and chases him.
Dongzhu chasing Lu Bu with Lu Bu's halberd. That's something.
It's almost darkly funny, isn't it? This bulky guy wielding this massive weapon. He even throws it at Lu Bu.
Does he hit him?
No, misses. Hits the ground. Dongzhu picks it up and keeps chasing, but Lu Bu's way too fast.
Lu Bu gets away.
For now.
Hey.
But Dongzhu, still consumed by rage, chases him right out of the garden and, in his haste, bam, crashes right into someone, falls flat on the ground.